Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined over distance by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
It's fine. I'm very far away.
You're on my screen, so you look pretty close to me, actually.
Interesting.
How are things in Columbus, Ohio?
It was okay. It got up to the 50s. This morning it was 31 degrees. I could see my breath, and I had a slight conniption.
That's some bullshit.
I was like, my thin Florida blood. Oh no! It was
All right.
fine.
We'll do the whole Columbus update as we get into dog updates.
Oh.
But lest we forget, the cocktail of the week this week is the Man-O-War, which I like to think is like the Portuguese Man-O-War, a jellyfish that most certainly would be carefully yeeted at our house.
Oh, I would yeet recklessly. I don't care. Yeet.
But the Man-O-War is actually named after the racehorse.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I think the racehorse is named after a ship. A Man of War was a kind of ship, wasn't it?
I don't know. Let's see. Man-O-War. This is the very engaging Googling section. Let's see. The Man-O-War horse.
No, before that. Man of War was a great horse, yes.
I'm just thinking if we can find out maybe he was named after the jellyfish.
That seems like a step down in animal naming.
Well, while overseas, his wife named the foal Man-O-War in honor of her husband.
Who was a man of war? Get out of here. That makes no sense. That's something completely different.
Not long after the colt was foaled, Belmont Jr. joined the U.S. Army at age 65 to serve in France during World War I.
Whoa.
While he was overseas, his wife named the foal Man-O-War. So there you go.
Man.
Okay.
She didn't name it Old Man Fighting?
That's old. 65 is
no kidding.
old to go to war. Anyway, a Man-O-War has bourbon, Cointreau, sweet vermouth, lemon juice, and simple syrup.
And a triple crown.
And a triple crown. All right. You ready for Administrative Corner?
I love Administrative Corner. Yeah.
Mako, the
yes.
Monroe County Canine in the Florida Key Sheriff's Association March Madness bracket, has made it to the Final Four.
Audible excitement on my part.
I know. So, again, come to Twitter. We have to vote by Friday. So far, we're totally killing it.
That's excellent. Mako's a good name, too. I will just say again.
The shark name.
It's a good name.
All right. So that's our only Administrative Corner. But I'm introducing a new segment this week before dog updates.
Exercising your authority.
Fish Scandal Corner.
Pod Queen. Ooh, that's good. I like it.
We have updates on both fish scandals that we've been following.
These just don't end.
All right. Fish scandal number 1.
Fish never win.
The alleged goblin shark found in the Mediterranean.
It looked a lot like a toy.
Looked identical to that toy. And some people, they published a paper on it. And some people were like, we're pretty sure this is a toy. And the original authors responded and were like, no, it's not a toy. It's absolutely real. Look at us zoom in and show you where the gill lines are on it.
Oh my God. Oh, that's right. It was five versus 4 gills, right?
Yeah. And so after they posted that response, Why Sharks Matter, our Twitter friend found, or one of his followers found the picture of the actual toy shark, which is manufactured in Italy, interestingly, which would put it near the Mediterranean. And that apparently was enough for the journal to retract the original article and for the authors to also retract their comment. So everyone has agreed it probably is a fake shark, or at least there's not good enough evidence that it was not a fake shark.
The article was based only on a photograph.
Taken by a tourist, no less.
That's thin. That's
quite
thin sourcing. That's yeah.
That is an interesting part of the scientific discussion. That's if we're going to be talking about species found in places that they haven't been before, maybe we need some better evidence in this, and our peer review system is a little bit fucked up if we let basically a toy goblin shark make it to publication with just like this kind of crappy photo from a tourist of a thing on a beach.
That's cryptozoology. My 4-year-old said she saw a Sasquatch, so therefore I'm going to write a paper about how Sasquatch has now been found in, Northern Virginia.
So there's that shark update. The fish update. The other fish update is in the weights in fish case,
Yeah,
the original fish scandal. The trial for the two weights in fish guys started this week.
for weights in fish incident, right? Because they just went on a spree after that.
Yes, that's right. For the weights in fish
Yes.
incident. Um, and they had pled not guilty,
Hmm.
and then they showed up in court, and then they pled guilty this week. So there was no actual trial in front of a jury. They pled guilty when they got to court.
They didn't
So
want to go to jail with a bunch of fishermen
I
who would have
suspect
punished them.
prison justice, prison fish
Here,
justice.
eat these weights, dude.
I suspect they struck some kind of plea deal with the prosecutor, but I gotta say I didn't read that far. It doesn't matter.
It's
Fuck those
disappointing.
guys.
Would have been a fun trial to have them try to deny the weight.
Yeah.
Maybe fish just ate a bunch of weights.
Yeah, I don't know how those got in there.
Split his own stomach open, maybe.
Oh my god. So there you go. That's fish updates.
Well, good. I hope they never fish again.
But they were showing the I mean, I did read some of the articles about it. The like first prize person got like $100,000 boat or something plus the prize money. So they had
Right?
to surrender the boat. I don't know that they ever got the boat, but the boat, they
The,
definitely had no claim on the boat after this.
the, I mean, yeah, that's the minimum. That's really the minimum. I hope the
Yeah.
boat went to the second place person.
But it's like it's a sort of funny story because it's like, oh, it's a fishing contest and they put weights in their fish, but it's actually like hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
at stake here, right? It's not just like I get to say I caught the most fish.
Some people would have like had a great year or life if they'd come in second or third.
Yeah.
That they came in third or fourth and out of the money. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So there you go. Fish updates.
These are good. This is good. This is going to be a continuing segment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Excellent.
all in for fish scandals. People are continuing to send me various fish scandals. Some of them are in line with the Keys stories of like catching too many fish. Some guy in Canada this week caught like 400 pounds too many fish.
Whoa.
Uh, so I'm gonna have to be
Jeez.
selective on which I want to. I want them all a little more like gossipy style scandally than just like fish laws being broken. But I'm just gonna assess each time.
I love it. Exercise your authority.
Yep. Okay, it is time for dog updates.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Well, let's just get the part out of the way that like the anxious people are listening to.
The elephant in the room.
Hopper had her assessment at the Ohio State University today, and didn't go the way that we wanted. There's basically not a lot they can do with her. They were very thorough. No surgery, not the surgery that we hoped for, not any other surgery. They basically gave her a shot and some new pills, and then they're like, maybe she should lose some weight. And I didn't say fuck you guys in the appointment, but I came as close as polite to that.
You were very very nice outwardly.
They
I knew
and
inwardly
it's
you were
not that
stewing.
yeah, I was really mad about the weight loss thing. It's not that they did I mean, they were all great and very thorough and professional. I think we were not on the same page about the urgency of the situation for her, which wouldn't have changed what they did, but we're not in, if she loses 5 pounds, she'll get around easier territory. She's in a cart because she can't stand up.
No.
So, and then and then they were like, "Weight loss really can help." And Ingo's like, "We're not feeding her that much." I'm like, "Well, you could give her broccoli." And we were both just like, "Fuck, what the fuck is this conversation?" You drove 20 hours not to be told about broccoli. I mean, they did find some interesting stuff. They did a CT scan. They can't do anything though. So, that that's the TLDR update.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a chance the injection will help. There's a chance that the new pain med will help. And they referred us some other doctors who might or might not be interested in helping Hop. So the process hasn't concluded, but this chapter certainly was disappointing.
A hard part of this is that, when I started looking around for the total elbow replacement, uh, I did a lot of web searching, and there's just not a lot of places that do it. And so I called Ohio State and I was like, we're interested in potentially total elbow replacement for our dog. Is that a procedure that you do? If you don't, like, I called our regular orthopedic surgeon, they don't do it. Do you guys do it? And they're like, "Oh yeah, we do it." And I was like, "Okay, great." Like, what's the process to get her evaluated for that? And then when you had her up there today, they're like, I mean, it's maybe been like 10 years since we did the last total elbow replacement. And I was like, "What? Like, when I was talking to the person on the phone, they're like, "Yeah, she'll get assessed, and if she's a candidate, she could have the surgery the next day." And I was like, there was no doubt I was talking about total elbow replacement. And they were like, "Oh yeah, yeah. No, like this is the person who does that, and surgery on Thursday if maybe Friday." And that's like, "Oh, we haven't done that in 10 years, and we'll see if maybe they'd want to do it, but we probably wouldn't do it on a dog who had just one leg because it's really hard." And I'm like, "Where?" Like, there was such a disconnect. And the person that they called today to see about maybe doing the surgery is in fucking Florida.
Yeah, which
We
is a lot
went to
closer than
Ohio.
Columbus. I drove past that person.
We went to Ohio because Ohio State was like, "Yes, we do total elbow replacement." And then today, Ohio State was like, "Well, let's call this guy at the University of Florida vet school, um, and we'll see." I mean, uh, I want to be clear. I'm not mad at Ohio State. They did not do anything wrong. I think we're both very disappointed in how today went, which isn't their fault. Like, they're not refusing to help us. Like, they have evaluated us and said Hops is not a candidate for these things. But it was also a really long drive for some things that maybe could have been avoided.
Yeah, no, nothing they did was unreasonable or wrong, but our expectations were, it turns out, unreasonably inflated by the process that started the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we do those. Whatever, come down.
Yeah. I mean, and they knew everyone was very clear that we were driving 20 hours from Key West. Like, I could get if we were local. VOSM, who's our orthopedic place in Maryland, who's great. When I called them, I was like, "Total elbow replacement?" And they were like, "We don't do it, but we can definitely give you an appointment so we can evaluate her and see if there's anything else we can do for her." And that's kind of what Ohio State did. They're like, "Yeah, bring her in and we'll evaluate her and see if there's anything we can do for her, but we won't do that for her." And it's like, I mean, that's reasonable if it's a short drive, but for 20 hours, like, you should have at least told me that's what you were going to do, because I could have done that at VOSM.
Yeah,
It's like any other time we went up there.
yeah. It's also hard because we're so spoiled with the vets that we have, right? Because they know us, they know the dogs, they know Hops, and they know that what the situation is, right? We're not asking for diet tips for this dog. I didn't drive 24 hours to get diet tips.
Mhm.
And having these vets have no idea how much experience we have with sick dogs, and the fact that rehab isn't scary for us, right? Like, that's not a disqualifying factor that she might need assistance for some months. We've done all that.
Yeah.
It was just it's kind of exhausting having to try to adjust to people who just think we're, I don't know.
Less experienced.
Yeah, that's right. Not willing to go the extra mile. We
Yeah.
literally went the extra mile. It's not even a pun.
So many extra.
Yeah.
We do not need to know about broccoli as
Mm,
an option to make your dog feel more full.
no, and yeah, I know. It's a teaching hospital too. There's a bunch of, I mean, they're all seeming younger and younger every year to me, but there's a bunch of kids staffing everything. That's probably you answered the phone to some hopeful child.
Don't listen to what he's saying. Everyone was extremely professional.
Yes, they were.
There are younger than you, that's true.
They are every year. I don't think they're catching up or keeping pace. I don't know how that works.
Um, yeah, so I mean, it's like a very disappointing day. This is nothing against the people at Ohio State. Like, I think they gave us the correct answer, but yeah, our expectations were not in line with how today went, because elbow replacement basically was never going to be an option, it turns out. And we didn't get that information, and we wouldn't have gone there if we had known that. We could have done this evaluation at a lot of other places then.
Yeah, we're basically just distraught that Hops is doing so badly. I mean, that is the crux of it. Is just that it sucks so bad for her, and it would have been nice to have a solution that fixed that
Yeah. The
definitively.
the good news is, she has done well on the drive and loves her little red cart, collapsible red cart that has been very useful on the project.
Oh, I think she loves the guy who's pulling the little red cart, Jen.
She's so happy that I am out of the picture and it's just the
Because
two of you.
you'll be so disappointed when you pop up again and she's like, "Oh, that one too." You are so faithless, Ingo. She'll be like, "Oh no, Ingo, you're cheating on me again with that one." uh,
Sorry, Hobbs.
she's resting comfortably and she'll have two dinners tonight. So since she missed breakfast, so in the short term, she'll be continue to be spoiled.
She's been like playful and energetic, and overall, I mean, at least from what you've shared with me, seems good.
Yes, she's unlike other drives where she's just been like really stressed the whole time.
Yeah.
On this one she was resting, she'd sleep, and yeah, when she got, I mean, she would eat and drink, which she also hasn't done in other long drives. So she's
Mhm.
seems to be handling it better now. Whether that's no, she was off the fentanyl, so it wasn't the drugs. So I mean, maybe she's maturing.
Yeah. Which is a good sign.
Yeah,
So the current logistics are,
staggering. They're staggering.
I guess they're a little simplified. I mean, even if you were to just like get in the car tomorrow, you still wouldn't be home for 2 days.
Yeah,
And I have to leave tomorrow, so there would be 2 days gone. So Geo Dog Sitter is still coming down, because we need her here. And tomorrow you are going to go to Maryland, and I am going to go to Maryland en route to Harvard. We're going to see each other tomorrow
I know.
briefly.
That's
And
weird.
then, yeah, I will go to Harvard Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're going to start your drive back on Sunday, so you'll get here shortly after GR Dog Sitter leaves on Monday. I'll be in Maryland for a week. I'll come back down Saturday, and then we'll be together again.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be the usual series of handoffs of car keys and change of caretakers of dogs, and it'll be fine.
Hmm.
Everything will be back to the normal abnormal.
Indeed.
Yeah,
So that's the plan. Other dog updates. I don't know if there's any
you
here.
want to misprint anything?
No, I don't think so. They've all actually been like super mellow and just like sleeping the whole time.
I think removing one scares the other ones. They're like, "Oh, that one was bad, and now she's gone. We better pull ourselves together, or else we'll be next." I
Yeah.
noticed one of us is missing. I don't want to be next.
No, everyone's it's been extremely uneventful. Everybody's been really mellow. So,
That's good. Nobody ate anything.
no, here is a random update though. The lady across the street, our kind of crazy neighbor,
Kind of.
she got me today. Uh,
Ooh, you got snared in her web.
I did. I had let Guac and Remy out, and I was trying to get them back in, and she came right up to the fence.
Ah,
And of course, so they both
and
start going to the
gesticulated.
fence. Oh, and it's like talking it like I'm trying to get him in the house, and she's like calling him over,
Oh,
and
I hate it when she does that.
that drives me crazy.
She stands on her porch, her own porch across the street, and when she sees like Remy barking, she'll be like, "Puppy, puppy, puppy, puppy," which of course excites him even more. And we're trying to keep him quiet. It is maddening.
It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had them on the stairs at the time, and
Oh, you were
like going up.
close.
Yeah. And she comes to the fence and starts yelling at them. And so I did manage to get Remy into the house, but Guac bolted back for the gate and was barking at her.
Sure.
And so I was trying to keep Guac on the stairs, and I was like, "What do you need?" And she's like, "Could you come down to the gate, please?" And I was like, "God damn it!"
Oh,
So I'm trying to get Guac in the house. He wouldn't go in. He eventually went over, and he was barking at her at the gate, all excited. I was real mad at him because he knows to listen to me, you know, and
he lost it.
explicitly
He,
chose not to.
he's emotionally overwhelmed, Jen.
Anyway, she wanted to borrow some milk. She's out of milk, and she has to get up early in the morning, and she needs milk for her coffee.
Oh,
And I
she
was like,
got me like that once too.
I remember.
Maybe I
Yep.
shouldn't have given her milk then. And now, oh, I made the problem.
It's fine. So I filled up her little thing with milk and brought it down. But if you remember, she was calling Guac Red Baron. She had a name for him. It was Red Baron.
Yes.
She has a new name for him. She calls him Beach Bum.
Oh my God.
So
Because
like
she's
when I went
watching
to,
him stand on the on the dock.
how can she possibly see the beach? Like she's got to be using binoculars in certain angles to be able to see, because the beach is the other side of our house.
Ah. Yeah, so
But
she's
yeah.
looking through past our cars under the
Mhm.
house. Oh, this is it's just ooging me. It's ooging
Yeah.
me out.
It's
Oog.
it's real creepy. But yeah, so when she's like, "Can I borrow some milk? I gotta get up early. I don't have any milk for my coffee." I was like, "Fine." And so I made Guac come in with me. I put the milk in the container and I went back out to give it to her. And she's like, "Oh, she had said beach bum before, and then Guac was standing at the door, which is glass, like you can't see through it, but you can see shadows." And she's like, "Oh, is that beach bum waiting for you up there in the window?"
Err,
And I'm like, "Yep, stop looking in my windows.
stop
Stop
commenting
looking
on my
into my
life.
yard. Like, I don't mind giving you milk, but like, what the hell, lady? Like, stay out of my regular
Stay
business."
out of my business.
So,
Seriously, what's this bullshit?
so
Oh,
there you go. It's no longer Red Baron. It's Beach Bum, which is creepier because it implies more spying on us.
I think Red Baron was better. I'm a big fan of the Red Baron. No,
I know she still shouldn't be naming our dogs.
no, she should not. I mean, she can have some kind of internal dialogue, but don't tell us what our dogs are doing. Oh,
Yes, yes.
just find a different hobby than watching our lives. Um, Never mind.
All right, so that's dog updates. In household updates, your parents' visit happened. It seems like so long ago, but
Yeah,
they left on Monday also.
they did. They were here for like 4 days. They
Yeah,
did drove themselves down from Atlanta, and I gotta say, it went so much better than I feared.
it did. It was perfectly pleasant the whole time.
I've discovered, and I don't want to encourage any parents out there, but the secret to keeping parents happy is just to do what they want. Give them what they want.
Within reason. I mean, we
Yeah,
did not let them do a bunch of things that they would like to have
that's
done.
true, but we did stock their bed and breakfast room with the foods that they like yogurt for breakfast and bread and sausage and
We
cheese.
could not have been more pleased with
They
your
were
grocery run.
super pleased to have German bread, cheese, and sausage.
German bread from Zingerman's.
Germans have a bad reputation for going abroad and wanting it to be just like Germany. And this is sort of like that. They're like, we want to eat like we do in Germany, but in a different place.
Yeah.
But they were super pleased. They were, I mean, completely happy. And I showed them a lot of stuff, and nobody got a bad sunburn. Everything went well.
Yep, everything was perfectly fine.
And now they're driving around the United States
They
somewhere.
did
You know,
finally get, some cell service. When they got here, they would not activate their US cellular service, so they could not call and go, and they didn't get a GPS for their car, nor did they have data plans for their phones, so they were just, like, driving blind, which I know we talked about last time. But they did finally get a data like, a SIM card with a data plan for their
yeah,
phone,
I'm very
so
impressed that they did that. I'm not sure I would have known how to do that. I guess they just probably went to an Apple store or something. We're like, hey, or
yep.
one of those roadside kiosks. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that? This might be a good story anyway.
So anyway, I guess they're and sort of making their way over to New Orleans for a few days.
Yeah, they went to Cape Canaveral but didn't want to pay for the tour because it's too expensive, and then they went to Daytona Beach, and then they went to St. Augustine and did a hop on hop off tour.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, St. Augustine, allegedly the oldest town in the United States.
Yep.
Um, and then yes, my mom was saying probably New Orleans. So hope they have some beignets and some good food.
Indeed.
Yep,
All right. Um, for Taste of the Keys,
yep.
I have 3 items for Taste of the Keys.
This is great.
I know normally it's 1, but there's 3 things.
It's three
Um,
times as good.
okay, number 1, we have talked a lot about the Cuban migrants coming, in their boats, but this week, 2 Cuban migrants came in a motorized hang glider,
Like an
and they
ultralight.
landed at Key West International Airport.
In at on the runway that like 737s land on.
Not quite 737s, but yes, I mean,
Anything short of
jets.
yeah, they landed their little, yeah, motorized kite is what it is, right? It's an ultralight with the propeller
Crazy.
in the back kind of thing. I mean, but if you're trying to avoid immigration and border patrol, they live at the airport. That is
I
not the best place. I was like, if you'd landed on Route 1, you would have had a better chance of you know making contacts undetected. But
We have a little airport here up on Sugarloaf Key for, Skydive Key West,
yeah, that would have
so
been
that would have been a better option.
more likely. Or Summerland Key,
Mhm.
that little, it's like a like a golf course development except around an airport.
Yep. So
um
that's item number 1. Alright. Do you remember, a couple weeks ago, we had Taste of the Keys about a romantic interlude that went bad, and a couple had invited a woman over, and then somebody threw a cinder block through somebody's car window, and, like, that was all the details we got?
yeah, it was too much love for one bed, I think
Well,
it was the
Ingo,
subtitle, too
I
much love.
have a detailed update.
Oh, this is gold. It was real cryptic and real promising initially. Yeah, it was like a threesome gone bad, right? And this is now better.
Here's the headline: Threesome turns violent after woman mocks couple's genitals.
Oh, this is good.
Marathon fla. A couple ended up in handcuffs, not the fuzzy kind, after inviting a disrespectful, quote unquote, disrespectful woman over for a threesome, according to police. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, officers received a complaint on March 6th from a woman named, we're just going to use first names if I can manage, Della,
Della.
29, who claimed to have been beaten by a couple after she accepted an invitation to join them at their house for a sexual threesome. Citing arrest records, the Smoking Gun reported that Stephen met Della while working as a taxi driver. Stephen said he was in an open relationship with
uh,
Angela, 20. Stephen's 31.
oh
Angela
God.
is 20,
Uh,
and invited Della over to have sex with them.
uh,
During sex, Angela claimed that Della became, quote, very disrespectful toward the couple and told police, quote, Stephen had a little dick and his wife had a stank pussy.
oh my God.
That's in the police report.
That
I'm
is just
quoting,
not.
quote,
Oh
Stephen had a little dick and his wife had a stank pussy. That's from the police
my
report.
God. This is a police report. That is not romantic, and it just shows that you should never have sex with someone you don't trust.
Della complained to police that Stephen, quote, tried to dominate her sexually inside the house. The couple then asked Della to leave the house, but she retreated to the couch and refused to move, both Stephen and Angela told police. Della said Stephen then grabbed her by the hair, threw her against a wall, and the couple both threw her outside.
Ugh.
Della claimed Stephen then repeatedly punched her. However, in Stephen and Angela's version of events, Della got into her car and then reversed towards the door of the home where the couple was standing, striking Stephen on the leg. Oh no, striking Angela on the leg. Um, Stephen then picked up a cinder block and threw it through the back window of the vehicle, which we know is the
That
thing
did
he was
happen.
charged with. Della then returned to the house and tried to punch Stephen but missed, and Stephen said she returned the blow. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to convert last names to first names as I'm reading. Della returned to the house and tried to punch Angela, but she missed, and then Angela returned the punch and knocked Della to the ground, telling her to leave the property. She then reportedly left the residence in her car but parked down the street, and Stephen went running after her, but she left before he reached her vehicle.
Ugh.
Stephen was charged with felony throwing. This is a better charge. But remember before it was felony throwing of a cinder block into an occupied vehicle?
Yes.
No, no. He was charged with felony throwing of a deadly missile. Felony throwing of a deadly missile. And Angela was charged with battery. Della was not arrested for the incident, but 2 days later, she was arrested for hitting a man in the face with a glass vase filled with gravel and rocks.
Wait, a different man, not Steven.
Yes,
Wow,
a
she's a
different
real
man.
prize. Wow.
According to the smoking gun, the 31-year-old victim was identified by police as the father of her children. That's who she hit in the face.
Oh,
Police said she was
messy.
out on bond for another crime last year in which she was arrested after being pulled over. She was the passenger in an SUV driven by a 39-year-old female friend. When the pair were pulled over, Della allegedly tried to toss an open bottle of tequila. When police found drug paraphernalia beneath her seat, she fought the arresting officers. She was charged with battery to a police officer, resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, and tampering with evidence.
Did she bite?
According
Did she bite? This would be a trifecta
hang
or a
Hingo, hang on.
quadrifecta. Oh my
Hang
god. Oh
on.
my god.
According to court records, the arresting officer reported that as Della and her friend were being driven to Key West jail, they, quote, began engaging in romantic acts in the back of the squad car. The officer
Oh,
stopped the car and moved Della's handcuffs so they were behind her back, at which point she pulled her bathing suit to one side and said, quote, do you want to see my A star 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 E? Which I'm guessing is asshole?
but
A
wait,
yeah, it
that they
must be
censor,
asshole.
but the
They have it, the A and the
thank
E.
you.
Oh
Oh,
no, I
the
filled
little
in the
bit.
other ones.
Oh, okay.
That's just a really bad censored one. The previous ones were D star star K and P star 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 Y.
I can fill those in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to see my asshole? That's what she said to the cop. She was taken to jail.
That's that's just. Oh,
Uh,
wow. This.
I
T-
could not have been more pleased with this update.
I did not see a lot of that coming. Oh boy, what a
So
mess.
if you go over to the smoking gun, threesome goes bad, couple ends up in cuffs, a tryst goes awry, criminal charges follow. That's the story. I was
Love is
reading
so
from
complicated. Love
a
is so
summary
hard.
of it. Okay, so
Wait,
there you go.
it
That was
doesn't even sound like money changed hands or anything. She
no,
just came over
no.
to
Just
participate
get it on, yeah.
and then hang up on the couch. I guess is what you wanted to do. Hang out on the
I don't
couch.
know. I don't know what she wanted.
This is very. It's great. There's still details missing, but it's very interesting.
Okay, our final taste of the Keys. A Florida Keys animal farm didn't expect this to happen after a new critter arrived. What do you think happened to go?
The new critter ate something.
Oh, okay. When a Florida Keys animal farm, this is the animal farm, the sheriff's animal farm,
Hmm.
took in a hedgehog a few weeks ago, little did handlers expect others would follow.
It was a pregnant hedgehog.
Yep, it's not often I get to make this type of announcement
A
because
predgehog.
our because our policy here at the farm is to spay and neuter all of our animals. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook. We are not here to breed more. We are here to take in animals that need a home. Surprise! The sheriff's menagerie now has two baby hedgehogs.
Oh, that's so cute.
How did it happen? Unbeknownst to us, when we received Juju the hedgehog on February 11th, she was
Juju,
already pregnant.
adorable.
2 weeks ago, she gave birth to two adorable hoglets.
They're hoglets.
They're tiny, itty bitty
Oh,
hedgehogs.
I'm delighted. I
They're
love
like
hedgehogs.
they're like the size of a lemon, pretty much.
I love hedgehogs. And little hedgehogs, even better.
They're very cute.
So cute.
So
They're
there you
keeping them in
go.
the zoo?
I think so, yeah.
We should adopt a hedgehog. It'd be cute. Vank would be friends with her.
I like hedgehogs. I mean, I've never had a hedgehog, but like in theory, it seems interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So there you go. That is it for the sort of extensive taste of the keys this week. Do you have a German word of the week?
Well, let me detour. Do you know what the German word for hedgehog is?
No, mm,
I'm not telling you.
mm-mm.
I mean, I'll tell
It,
everyone,
it's
but
part kind of pig. Uh,
nope.
tell no, tell me
Eagle.
what?
Igel. Eagle.
Oh, I would not have gotten that. I thought it was like a
No,
some.
Meerschweinchen is guinea pig is has a
Oh, maybe that's where I was going.
yeah maybe. But then
Eagle. The eagle has landed.
what's the thing that you stepped on in the water? Sea urchin. It's called
Yeah,
a
fuck that thing.
Seeigel, which kind of makes sense.
Oh, well, that's clever.
It's in
A
the
sea
water, put
hedgehog.
Z in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So eagle is a German word for.
Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, do you know what the word for rubber ducky is? Speaking of rubber ducking jeeps,
Yeah, I do. Rubber ducky is Gummidugia.
I don't think that's right. I
Hey
think it's.
Siri, what's the German word for rubber ducky? In German, rubber ducky is Gummidukie.
You know, when I used to watch Sesame Street with Ernie and Bert, you know how Ernie had a rubber ducky and sang to it?
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
It's Gummientchen. Ente, and then Chen is just the diminutive. Gummientchen.
Like
It's
ducky.
not
In Inta
Gummidukie.
is duck. Gummidukia. Siri just
Gummidukie
told me.
sounds Dutch,
Gummidukia.
or it sounds like Siri just read it out, or it's from IKEA. It's an IKEA.
Gummidukia.
I don't think that's right. I mean, I may miss some slang, and that may be what the kids are calling it these days. But I learned Gummientchen.
Gummidukia.
I
Is this
don't.
fun to say? I
Yes, but
like it.
it's not German.
I'm sorry. Siri,
Gummiducky.
what's the German word for rubber ducky? In German, rubber ducky is Gummidukü. Oh, we just
Oh,
changed it. Gummi.
Dückchen.
No, no, Gummidukyu. Duki. I,
Gummiducky.
anyway, it's not inchin. I know Inta. For some reason, like in every time I've like worked on my German, including like when I was in high school, it's real important to teach you the word for duck. They always fucking teach you the word for duck. I don't know why. I don't talk about ducks that much.
There's a lot of songs in German with duck in it.
Hmm.
Ducks. Kids songs. Alle meine Entchen.
Well, now I can say, du steckst die Ente in die Türgriff von einem Jeep.
Ja,
And
genau. Das ist das Spiel.
that's how you. That
Das
just
ist die
means you stick the duck in the door handle of a Jeep, and that's how you spiel Duck Duck Jeep auf Deutsch.
Duck Jeep. You got ducked.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Gummidukia slash Inta
Yeah.
slash Inchin. Inta, die Inta is.
Gummidukie is just not in any. It's not written down anywhere.
See, it's literally written down in Siri.
She wrote it down. I
She
don't
wrote it
trust
down.
her. This is a lesson to not trust AI.
You have anything for Ingo Corner?
Um, no. I'm glad to be in Florida when there's no winter. I'm getting old and soft.
Winter sucks. Your mom was like,
That's
"This
hard.
seems like a really good place for pensioners because you don't have to do very much and it's nice and warm." And I was like, "Gerda, that's why lots of old people move
You've
here."
you discovered Florida.
Yep.
Good job. Good job. No,
Yeah.
it's still a little gray here. There's not a lot of green. It's weird.
I was like looking at what I have to pack to go to Boston, and it's gonna be nippy there. I mean, it's not gonna be super cold, but it's gonna like one of the days I'm gonna get up and have to go to class, and it's gonna be like in the 30s.
Yeah,
What
you
the
have to
fuck?
wear like I mean, you could just be cold. You don't have to wear anything. You can do whatever you want. You're a grown up. You you can decide what you want.
I know. I think I'm gonna bring a jacket though.
You didn't wear pants for
I'm not absolutely
most
not
of your
bringing
life.
pants. Well, I'll bring like sweatpants for my hotel. I'm not wearing pants to class. No. But
You didn't wear pants in Chicago winters, which I think is pretty
I
cool,
did own pants in college though.
but
I mean,
also
I
maybe
had
dangerous
jeans.
to your knees.
Yeah,
They might freeze in your
I
knees.
I had jeans. I mean, I wore skirts in the winter for sure, but I did have jeans, so I wasn't always bare legged.
Badass is what it is.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be over distance from the other side next week,
Yeah.
and then we'll be back together. And until then, Slava Ukraini, and don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.